From a tiny business, the size of a mouse, to the ranks of giants. What's clicking next at Razer? This week on Managing Asia, we get up to speed with gamer, co-founder and CEO Tan Min-Liang.
Okay, punch. You got a top layer is punch, bottom layer is kick, all right? There you go.
I'm not much of a gamer, but when I met Tan Min-Liang, I couldn't resist playing a game or two with the CEO of Razer. Oh my god, what was that you gave me?
Well,
what kind of power blast was that?
Well, that was a fireball.
Hey, you didn't tell me about the fireball. How do you sleep after playing a game like this?
I tried to sleep it.
Hey, that was not fair. What was that? That was a typhoon that you gave me.
Right. I think most of the time I try to play at least like half an hour before I sleep. Because otherwise it can get kind of stressful, you're right.
A case of deja vu. Like 2011, I got thrashed.
There we go.
Again. I got you. I got you on that. What's KO?
I just beat you.
Oh, you just beat me?
Yeah, KO. I'm sorry. I try not to. I try not to do that. Now I've got it on video that I've just beat you. That's right.
Tan Min-Liang, trained lawyer, startup entrepreneur, gaming addict.
We said, wouldn't it be cool back then to create a product that would help us win in games? And that's how we came about with the first gaming mouse.
He and another gamer, Robert Krakoff, started Razer in 2005, clicking up a storm with their gaming mouse that promised better precision and control. From 300 employees when we featured Tan 6 years ago, the company now staffs 1,000 people. Revenue is also said to have jumped from 100 million to nearly 400 million US dollars.
We've moved on, we've expanded not just from hardware to a software platform. We are now providing services. We've built this entire Razer ecosystem, and it's been pretty cool.
It's been a 12-year journey, and Razer is now a maker of high-precision mouse, powerful laptops, customized keyboards. You're now a $3 to $5 billion company. You're gearing up for listing.
Absolutely.
How's that coming along?
Well, it's just part of the process, right? We look at going public as the first step in a much longer journey. And back in the early days, we were considered a bit of a niche, right? Gamers, I would meet investors and they would say, look, gaming, isn't that like a bit of a niche market? Isn't it kind of small? But today, gaming is just massive. There are 2.2 billion gamers out there in the world, and Razer is the leading lifestyle brand for all of us, right? And for gamers, by gamers, we've stayed true to our creed, we've stayed true to our motto. The IPO is the first step of a long, long journey for ourselves. And we look forward to just doing what we do best.
What would a listing give you?
We would love to have that war chest to allow us to invest in R&D. We are known to have disrupted many industries. We're the first in the gaming peripheral side of things. We are the first when we invented the first true gaming laptop. We've gone on to provide for one of the largest software platforms for gamers out there in the world, and we continue to do that. The virtual credit system we just came out with, it's Z-Gold. It's in a short couple of months.
It's an entire ecosystem.
It's an entire ecosystem, and having that war chest from the IPO would allow us to do all that and much more, and that's what we want to continue doing, to make cool product.
What sort of float are you looking at? What size, what amount of money are you hoping to raise from the public offering?
Sure, I can't really talk about it at this point of time, but we're looking for a substantial float. We're looking for investors who truly believe in our vision, like the same investors that we've always had from day one at Razer. And we want to continue doing that, executing on our for gamers, by gamers motto for everyone in the world.
You excited that finally you and your investors are going to get a big payout? It must be rewarding.
It's not the first thing on my mind. I think for us, for myself, the brand is a huge responsibility. We are the leading lifestyle brand for gamers. There are 2.2 billion gamers out there. We are the world's #1 leading lifestyle brand for gamers out there. And it's a huge responsibility. We've got gamers who tattoo the logos on themselves, right? We've got gamers who set up, shrines to Razer, who talk about us, who evangelize us all the time. And it's because they believe that we will continue making phenomenal product, great software, kick-ass services for all of them. The payout, it's not the first thing on my mind. It's not even on my mind at all. But to be able to have the resources to do so much more That's what we want to do.
One of your key investors is Horizon Ventures, a venture fund linked to Hong Kong's Li Ka-shing.
Yes.
You've also entered into a partnership with a telco operator, 3 Group, which is also linked to the Hong Kong tycoon. Is that why you're choosing to list Razer in Hong Kong?
There are very few people who actually know that we're one of the few American-based brands that have done incredibly well in China. And you'll see our products, our brand being listed as #1 on JD or #1 on Tmall. Every time they have the Double 11 Day and things like that. So because of our exposure to China and the fact that we also do incredibly well in the US and Europe, we felt that Hong Kong would be an ideal location to access pools of capital from both sides. And of course, with Mr. Lee's support, he's been an incredible investor in our work together with Hutchison, with the Hutchison Group and 3. It was just a natural kind of venue for ourselves with a strategic investor like Mr. Lee.
Which part of the Chinese video gaming market are you going to capture? Do you want to capture?
Well, I think it's not just the Chinese video gaming market, but the entire swath. I mean, in terms of categories, we do incredibly well in the PC market, for example, PC gaming, which is dominant in China, of course. We do very well in console, which is usually on the US and European markets, not so much in China. And of course, the mobile market is something that we're excited about. Now, overarching this entire thing as part of our DNA at Razer, esports, is something that we have kind of pioneered many, many years ago. We continue to invest in it. We are probably the #1 brand in esports worldwide, and China, we're getting a huge amount of eyeballs just on esports alone.
Let's talk about numbers, because right now Americas is your biggest market, contributing the bulk of your overall sales.
It's about half of our sales.
If you get your China strategy right, how much could China pull in for you in terms of revenue?
Well, I think it's going to be a huge growth
How huge?
Geography for us. But to take a little bit of a step back, while China is growing incredibly fast, the rest of the markets are still growing at double digits, right? So while a lot of our focus at this point of time is what else can we do to do better in China at this point of time?
What else can you do better in China?
Well, I think in terms of localization, I think we can do a lot more. I think at this point of time, the vast majority of our software platform, the 35 million users, are outside of China right now. We would definitely want to grow our software base in China. Over and above, I think our services today, Z-Gold, the virtual credit system that we've got, it's primarily outside of China, and we'd love to find a local partner to work together. And I think finally, mobile gaming, it's getting massive everywhere. The US, Europe, in China, and we hope to have products, to serve the mobile gamer everywhere in the world.
Just how challenging is it to nail the Chinese gamer? Do they have any peculiar habits?
Gamers are different everywhere. The European gamer, for example, plays on a PC, with huge swipes. The Chinese gamer tends to be a little bit more precise, on a smaller surface. And we've realized it because in terms of the size of homes, I think that's made a bit of a difference. So that's one. And over and above, of course, genres of games. I think the kind of games that Chinese gamers are into are actually completely different from that of the US.
Give me an example.
Huge game at this point of time, 王者荣耀, right? That translates to Arena of Valor. That's a massive game in China.
Yeah.
So it's a huge mobile game. It's a multiplayer online battle arena kind of game in China. Does incredibly well in China. It's not out in the US or Europe as of yet.
Are Chinese gamers more competitive?
I think all gamers are competitive. So I'm not even going to answer that, because I'm going to get a whole bunch of gamers coming about and saying, oh, we American gamers are more competitive, we Chinese gamers are more competitive. Get onto any server where you get people from different countries, right, on a single server, and everyone is incredibly competitive. And that's the thing about Razer, and that's how we've kind of really started. We bring that competitive edge. All the top esports athletes in the world use Razer.
Yeah.
And that's good reason, right? The world's #1 League of Legends player, Faker, he uses Razer, and he's just, and he's a 3-time world champion. About, 4 weeks ago, one of our teams under Team Razer, Team Liquid, just swept the international. They took home $10.5 million.
This is serious business.
$10.5 million US, right? It's serious business. And how did they do it? With Razer, over and above. So that competitive edge, you talked about competition. That's what gamers live for. That's what we do, esports.
Do they ever sleep?
We do, we sleep, not much, but we do get some sleep, I think, over and above. And we are working on seeing how we can, at Razer, allow them more time to stay up and play more games.
Your partnership with Li Ka-shing's 3 Group has given rise to expectations that you're going after the mobile gaming market. What exactly are you planning in this segment? What's in store?
We've done a couple of moves in the mobile gaming market, and to be absolutely
Is one of them
transparent,
coming up with a handset?
well, I think there's one of the hotly most rumored things about Razer is that we're coming up with a mobile device. And I can say that we are coming up with a mobile device specifically geared toward gamers and entertainment.
When will it hit the market?
We're hoping to have it come in the next, by the end of the year. So that's something we're working on.
Well, you've made some acquisitions in the past couple of years. You've acquired gaming console maker Ouya, you've acquired sound tech company THX, and a cloud-powered smartphone company called Nextbit. What else are you looking out there to strengthen Razer's position as a gaming powerhouse?
Well, for ourselves at Razer, we tend to make acquisitions from a acqui-hire perspective, because the way that we do things is we want to find the best talent. We want to bring them in, we want to learn how to make products that we don't necessarily might have the engineering talent at that point of time. So, Nextbit was our move, I think, in terms of getting great talent. These were some of the founding team members of Android at Google, because we wanted to get a lot more engineering talent from a mobile gaming perspective. Ouya was the same thing. We wanted to get from a game store perspective to understand what else can we do for mobile gaming. And that's what we want to do, bring the best talent together, look at new categories or industries that we can disrupt.
What else is missing that you would like to buy?
I think on this front for ourselves, we're incredibly passionate about things like AI and in gaming. I think there's a lot more that we could do. We're looking at the future of Razer. You mentioned THX, and THX, for that matter, is one of the big three cinematic brands in the world. And the reason for that is that 10 years from now, we are seeing a huge evolution of what gaming or entertainment could be. Entertainment is going to be massive. It's going to be incredibly important for entertainment for everyone.
So Razer is going to be an entertainment company?
Well, we already are. I mean, given that gaming is probably the largest segment in entertainment, what else is left? There's movies and there's music. And one of the biggest...
Are you going after those 2 segments?
Well, with THX, today, the THX brand is already one of the biggest brands in the movies and the music segments, and we are rolling out certified screens, throughout China, in the US. We see convergence happening in the industries. We're seeing game content jumping onto movies. We're seeing movie content jumping onto games. We're seeing esports events beamed live to cinemas. People eating popcorn, watching that on giant screens. That convergence is what we believe is going to drive us for the next couple of years.
Don't go away, more with Tan Min-Liang, co-founder and CEO of Razer, in just a moment.
I tweeted the Prime Minister, but...
and he tweeted back.
And he tweeted back, which is very cool.
Managing Asia will be right back. Hi, I'm Christine Tan, and thanks for watching Managing Asia on CNBC Live. You can check out more of our great content by clicking on the videos on screen. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for the very best in feature programming. Thanks for watching.